what's up, everybody? It's Mo and James. We're Great Starters. We decided to do an episode on who kind of influenced us as far as, growing up, playing ball. Who do we kind of pattern our game after? Who do we watch? Who do we feel like, who kind of influences the word? Who influenced our game the most coming up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So we're going to go ahead and get started into that. So who, I guess let's start with who close to you, I guess, kind of gave you the knowledge, told you what to do, who kind of guided you, coming up?
The first time I actually picked up a basketball, my Uncle James. My Uncle James most definitely.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be, man. I was probably third grade.
Mm-hmm.
Third grade or second grade. It was bitty ball, so it had to be like first, second grade.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the first one I actually put a basketball in my hand. And I always tell people, man, until about fifth grade, I was always the worst kid. Always, I'm telling you, always the worst kid. But, he really influenced me of picking the basketball up. And, me and my cousin, we were the same age. We actually graduated high school the same year. So It was always cool just to have my cousin along on the same journey, So yeah, that was one of my first, my first people to ever tell me, like, hey, this game can be kind of fun, How about you, Doc?
For me, it was kind of just kind of ingrained in my kind of family, not so much my mom's side, more my dad's side. He's from Saginaw, Michigan, and it's they're kind of known for producing basketball and football players.
For sure.
Kind of it was so sports was life, and then he of course he went to play at Lincoln University up here in Missouri, and so as soon as I came out the womb, he was like, "Here, take this." But what was funny about it, I was not good at all as a kid. I was very uncoordinated, goofy, just kind of not really good at basketball. But he just kind of he was the first to give me the ball, and then he kind of encouraged me the whole time. The whole time I was kind of coming up I started, of course, whenever you could start, and then up through middle school, high school. He was always the person that was there to influence me. So I got lucky. I had somebody a parent who was able to push me and show me the way, tell me what to do, what not to do. So it was definitely him as far as that influence piece.
Yeah, and then I think my middle school coach, I think of confidence-wise, my middle school coach, Dan Clack, man. I went to a small private school, so our middle school team was built of 7th and 8th graders, and then the lower levels 5th and 6th graders. But I only went there for 2 years, 7th and 8th grade, and the confidence, I was still that weird gangly kid. I grew I was always pretty tall, so I never hit a fat growth spurt at one point in time. But I was always one of the taller kids, and I was really lanky and stuff. But he always just gave me confidence. He really did. Probably in 7th grade. I remember our 7th grade year, we won one game. One game. And then, so I went to Calvary Lutheran, and then 8th grade year came around. We won the whole league, and then we ended up get to go to state. And so, which was pretty cool. So, but not just just that difference of 1 year to the next year. And then just being able to go 7th grade to 8th grade, I would go up to the high school I was going to go to for their open gyms. So their assistant coach and head coaches there watching me play with some of the guys, some of the older guys. So, and of course, when you're there, it's even with my little brother, I take him there.
Yeah. And
you're trying to fit in.
Exactly.
Make a couple shots from the floor, get some layups.
Do the regular stuff, nothing extra. Potatoes, that's about it.
Yeah. So Dan Clack, he for sure. That's the confidence part. That's where, he called me a beast. And, he let me just, and then that's why
nurture you, basically.
And then that's what,
help you grow into who you are.
Yeah, throughout, even high school and, college, that's why I always thought, man, I'm a beast. At all times, never let my confidence die, no matter how many shots you miss or how you feeling that day. You're always a beast, man. You're always a beast.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I didn't really, what's crazy about my basketball journey, career, I haven't had, I don't want to say any coaches, because I I had coaches that influenced me. I never had anybody that really took an interest in like building that for me. That was always my dad. Like it was always him. He was the person that was like, hey man, like you need like, let's go get in the gym. Like I don't feel like your jumper isn't working right now, or you're not handling the ball correctly right now, or like I never really had coaches that like took an interest or was like that motivated me in a way. Like even like to this day, I can think of one. I had my AAU coach. I played AAU as a senior. Like that tells you like where I was as far as like getting looks. Like I didn't have like anything, and then I had an AAU coach, and it was for Triumph Elite in Dallas, and he just was like, "Hey man, like I don't think you know, but you're like you can."
What's the coach's name, man? What's the coach's name, man?
Man, I mean, if I could, let's see. I think I have him on Instagram. That shows you how like. I mean, he's only in my life for like a year, but I follow him on Instagram. Let me see if I got him on here, if I can find him. Steve Adams. Coach Steve Adams. Yeah, man, he's a really, I mean, to this day, I don't even know if he was an actual, like, what his coaching background was for anything. I mean, he I think this is his AAU program that I played for my senior year. But regardless, like he was probably the one person, that's where I took my biggest leap from my senior year to like my going to college. Like the numbers probably wouldn't support it, but I felt like my growth as a player was the best that summer. Yeah, that summer going into my first year of college. Like he's the one, he put the ball in my hands. He said, hey, I'm gonna put you, today I'm gonna try you at point guard. Or today I want you to like be the 4, I want you to like board and lock up. Like he would put me in different positions to succeed. He's like, I feel like you can do it all. Yeah. Like so he was the one coach I can think of that influenced me enough to where I was like, man, I can do this. I'm really good. I can hoop. So yeah, that was my one guy. Of course, like I said, my dad was the person that was always there every step of the way. So,
and then, I got 2 other people. My high school coach, my first high school coach, Andy Domsch, came to high school like 5'11", like 150, soaking wet, dog. Like small.
I'm probably weighing less than that.
Small, like didn't really, like that's one thing kids don't understand. Unless you're like some super talented kid, that middle school to high school leap is just like. It's crazy. It's a big leap.
So like, it is.
So like he told me, he was like, hey James, straight up, you're not gonna be nothing at this if you don't put no extra time in. Like if you don't lift, you don't put no extra shots up, you don't get more athletic. You're not gonna you're not gonna be what you want to be. Yeah, you're not gonna be successful at this level.
Exactly.
So every day after practice, dog, because I made the JV team, but every day, but like I know I'm on JV, like. Who's going to JV games. So every day after practice, dog, we stayed and we lifted, got shots of it whenever we could, but I made sure every single day, even if I had a game before, game after, I'm lifting, I'm getting shots up, I'm getting better. Like I want to get better because like that next year, I knew like, dog, like I'm putting so much more work in than everybody else. Like it's gonna show. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna show. And then even not even next year, I know like where I want to be at. You have to mentally just like you gotta like I don't care about being scored for a JV game. I didn't care. And then my other coach is Albert Collins.
Oh yeah,
big dog.
Coach Collins. Yeah. Big dog, Coach Collins, man. Love him, man. Love him. He was quite an influence that period of time, like after school and trying to go play ball overseas. Like definitely knew he was a bucket. Definitely knew he could hoop, man. So Coach Collins, man.
Yeah, for sure. And then like he like how my game evolved. Like I've always when I was in college, like freshman year got hurt. I tried to transfer somewhere else. Didn't really work out. So I just went to college. I just went to school. So like for that whole year, he just, worked me out. Like, when you're like 6'4" in high school, you're always like an in-between type guy. So that those couple years, like, he told me like, hey, what do you do best? I told him shooting the best. So that first year, all we worked on was, catch and shooting. come off curl shooting, like pump fake, 1-2 dribble shooting, you know, stuff. And then, you know, my game from then evolved every single year working with them into, you know, like I always tell people, I never got to play, I always got hurt, I always got hurt, so I never got to really, show the work that we put in. But now, like, when I work out with the people, in my knowledge of the game just expanded from them, like, what I can do on the court, what I see on the court, and just from coaching with them. I mean, you become a coach and you're still trying to play, the game becomes that much easier. It comes that much harder because then you expect your teammates to do what, you know what I'm saying?
That'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen unless you play on a very high level. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So, no, he really changed, like, that's when, like, I really feel like, like even now, like how I play, even though I got hurt, I can still go out there and play basketball. I'm not rely on athleticism.
Exactly. You make stuff happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that up to this point, that has been my like journey as far as people. I mean, of course, you're always gonna have trainers. You're always gonna have. I mean, every single coach that you have had, you're gonna take something from. Like you may not have liked or understood their coaching style, but I can guarantee you I have taken like something from every single college coach that I've had. I have honestly never had a college coach that I really like connected with like that. I think I had 3 or 4 that I didn't really connect with them like that, but I definitely took something from each and every one of them, and I feel like that experience makes you a better hooper, if that makes sense. Like you may not agree with them, but they're in that position for a reason. They're to be respected for a reason. So I feel like if I can ever instill one thing in any kid that I feel like I'm working with in a basketball sense, they've kind of done their job. I feel like, because like I said, not everybody's gonna connect, not everybody's gonna gel, not everybody's gonna get along.
And that's the best thing about basketball is basketball already relates to life. You might. I mean, no one knows me. Like I'm kind of brash, blunt type of person, and I might rub people the wrong way. But then everything I'm saying is for your good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm never trying to be negative or anything. But if I just feel like there's something in your game you're lacking, or just in life, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I feel like me and Noah are close enough that, if he does something, or, if I do something, he'll let me know and I'll let him know. So it's really not like it's just crazy how basketball just revolves around life, because you might not like that person, but you respect them enough, like, man. And when you look back on it, it's really more when you look back on it, like,
exactly.
Dang,
exactly.
He was right.
Like, he was definitely right. That coach was right. He was right for like yelling at me in that respect. He was right for maybe trying to come to me as a man, like off the court. Like, I feel like those moments actually grow the coach and player dynamic a little more than the on-court moments. Like the on-court moments, that's just like numbers. That's just like, okay, this is, numbers. But that relationship that you build, like off the court with your coach, if you can ever like get to that point, that's gonna help you in the long run in life.
Oh, for sure.
In basketball for sure, but in life in general, like those off the court like moments where you're able to come to each other, come to an agreement, say, hey, like this is how I saw it, but you saw it this way. Well, let's find some middle ground. And then that's when you see those relationships, those coach-player relationships, like a Tim Duncan and a Greg Popovich. Like we know for a fact they're two different people, very different people, but they were able to coexist and win championships the whole time Tim Duncan was there, because they were such in sync off the court. I feel like.
Oh, for sure. So I know it's not really on topic, but from the standpoint of influencers and I always gotta say my mom. My mom didn't know lick about basketball, but it always made it good when you know that you play bad. Your dad's probably gonna let you know.
He gonna let you know.
My dad let me know. But it's always good to hear your mom like, hey baby, good game. And I played like buns.
And you really didn't want to hear that.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. You was like, man, I'm cool. Like, just, I don't know about you, but for me, when those games happened, I was like, man, I don't want to talk. Like, just kind of like, leave me alone. Let me like go, like get myself right. But she was always like, look, you can't You can't do that. Like, you have to like face it, own up to it, but then let it go. Yeah. Just let it go. And then she taught me how to do that. And so I would have bad games back to back, but I never really got down on myself about like those games. Yeah. So that was that's like you said. It's all on subject. I feel like it's all on brand as far as like on your hoop journey. You need different people for different things, and so like we said, our moms didn't know anything about basketball, but they knew about life enough to be like, okay, own up to it. Now wash it off.
Everybody has a bad day.
Exactly, and come back the next game with, if you can, a better attitude, or if you felt like you had a good attitude and you just things didn't go your way. I mean, the next game things are gonna go your way if you take the same approach. If you had a good approach to begin with. So,
do you have any teammates that you have in mind that like really stood out and be like, they also helped me through this journey? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it always kind of works this way going into college. You're a freshman and it's usually a senior or an upperclassman, or even it could be a sophomore, but somebody that was there the previous year or coming from a different situation. They know a little something. You don't know nothing as a freshman. So I always say, when I went to my first school, Daryl Hicks, he was a senior at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, where I went first. He was an all-conference player. He was a D1 transfer. Like, he knew, and like even like he wasn't like the type of guy that was just gonna like he was rough around the edges. So it wasn't like he had an approach that was like, okay, it's tried and true, it works. Yeah. It was more like hey man, like, let's go hoop, get up, let's go lift, let's go run, let's go like do it, let's go like his activity was what made me like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And he gave me confidence as a player to like, yeah, I can if I practice this move with like we in the gym together, we practice this move like individuals or by ourselves, like in the game, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be able to do it because he took the time to like, hey, let's go to the gym, let's go do this. Yeah. So I'll say him. I'll say shout out my guy Ural King. He's overseas right now playing. I played 2 years with him. I lived with him even up here in KC. Mm-hmm. We're more along the lines of we're kind of on the same level, but having that person that like kind of understands you and you hang around all the time and y'all do want to get better, mm-hmm. He was definitely a positive influence because he was probably one of the few people that I like that understood me, that I wanted to hang around, that also loved the game as much as I felt like I did. As he loved it as much as I felt like I did. So yeah, those two guys, as far as teammates go, like I still talk to them to this day. So they're a good influence on life as far as like life goes. So what about you, man?
Man, I think the first one was my friend Liam, man.
Yeah, I know Liam, man.
I tell people, man, different situation.
When did you make Liam?
The senior in high school.
Senior in high school. Okay.
His school closed down. He transferred to the high school went to Ace, and then I transferred from my school senior year. So we were both like new kids.
So y'all naturally just.
Yeah, I mean, our first conversation was like, so you hoop?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course. So you hoop? Yeah. And knowing we 6'5", 6'6", like we know, like I know you're hooping, dog. Like bro, like I walk out like this is Liam. Like I already knew, like this is the guy Liam that everybody talking about. Yeah. But you know, I always tell people like, man, like different situation, different anything. Like he's making money playing basketball, but you know, you come to grasp with that when you get older. Mm-hmm. But you know. Even when I messed my knee up, and even to this day, man, he's just pushing me the whole time. He's like, bro, like you're really cold, bro. Like you put so much time in, like your work ethic's crazy, like, and like you know, so like for him, it was like always like I don't want you to ever feel like we're not teammates. You think I'm better than you or anything. Like it's always like me and you, dog. Like we came in here together. Yeah. Like we came in here together. We leaving together. We still partners to this day. Like.
That's dope, man. That's really dope.
Like, so he always like, you know, he like, And I mean, he'd be the first one like, man, James, man, shoot the ball, dog. Like, shoot the ball, man.
He definitely is that.
Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, shoot the ball, man.
Y'all really similar as people, if I'm being honest. Like,
that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. Nah, y'all are. Like, the time that I played with him, he like, man, I ain't got time for this. Like, y'all, like, shoot, man, hoop. Like, don't, like, yeah, like, it's funny. That's funny.
And then, man, I think I got two other ones that really stick out the most. For sure, my homie Josh. Like, we went to high school together for 1 year, and you know, he's a year younger than me. But like, even when we were, he walked on that Prairie View, and I was a sophomore, so I was trying to like find another school to go to and stuff like that. And then, but like, even in high school, like when we're having open gyms, we always do upperclassmen versus underclassmen. So me and Josh
beat downs.
Oh no! Beat down for upperclassmen because me and Josh were cold. So like we just started taking that next step. Like, and every time it was a chance to lift, Josh was there, and other freshmen. But like, I always knew Josh was there. If I wanted to go hoop and get some extra runs in or get shots up, Josh, what you doing, dog? And even like to college, like you know, he did it for 1 year, and then you know he's an engineer, so you know. School came over, so he chose school over basketball, but then like he chose that, you know what I'm saying. But like when we were working out in the summertime, man, like I don't know how many times we wake up at 5 every day, 5 o'clock, every Monday through Thursday, wake up at 5 o'clock. We playing for Chick-fil-A breakfast. Like we get shots up, we live. And we play 1-on-1 for Chick-fil-A breakfast.
So he's like your workout partner.
And he bought me a lot of food, a lot of Chick-fil-A, Josh, a lot of Chick-fil-A.
That is funny.
Oh, and shout out to Josh. He's the one actually who made the beat for the intro. So, you know, DJ Steez, that's my guy. So
damn, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Full circle almost.
Full circle, dog. And then second, like for the training and stuff like that, you were probably you, Kevin and Dalton, like you guys were like the first people to actually like when I went to Park, like you were the first person to ever really talk to me for real. And you know, like summertime we was going there working out and stuff like that. So you was the first person to ever really talk to me. And then when we got on campus, Kevin and Dalton, like we came really close. But the thing that stood out, like, you know, like one day I was like, hey, you know, like I know I'm not to the level what you guys probably think I am, or because I was playing so terrible in practice. Like I was just so excited to be there. But
I feel you. I remember them summers. They was just rough all around. I feel like they didn't go as smooth as like I thought. Now because that was the year I was coming back.
Fact.
I was like, man, this is like I was in the same boat, man. I was like, man, this is like kind of rough, man. Like it just ain't going as smooth as I thought it was. But yeah, man, I do remember that summer. It was it was cool, man. It was really cool.
I remember, but then the thing that stood out to me was like, I think it was it had to be your senior year. I was like, hey, dog, like if you ever want to get some extra, like, you know, reps up or something like that, just hit me up. So you work out and stuff like that. And you trusted like everything, like, cause I wasn't playing. So like, I'm just watching. So I'm just telling you like what I'm seeing, dog. Like, like I think this is what you can do. Like, or I'm telling you like, hey, dog, you work on this, like you're fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you really took, you know, like you actually listen to me like, hey, okay, yeah, like no, like I see like why you telling that. If you know,
I could tell because I could tell that you really, really wanted to be out there, and so in that respect is you wanted to be out there, but you also wanted to help. Like you wanted to help. Like even no matter what it was, you wanted to help. And I could tell that, and of course you love the game of basketball, so it's like. I trust this person. I've only known him like some months. I trust this person, like, cause he actually genuinely showed that he wants to help. And so, I mean, I would be stupid to not take advice from somebody like that. So, yeah, man. But yeah, so we kind of went through a lot of names of people that influence us, but like
that's love though.
It is because those relationships are very necessary as far as furthering. In life, I know you said that like 5 or 6 times, but in life, like you have to have a team of people around you that are like, that have your best interests in mind. So, those are our people. I'm Noel, this is James. The bench starters, and we're out.